Hey everybody, Vanessa here with Visalia Talks, your local talk show that brings you everything you need to know about what's going on right here in your community. Today we've got with us Marc Cruz from Vitruvian Martial Arts. How are you, Marc?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so Vitruvian Martial Arts. How long have you been into the martial arts scene?
I've been training since 2000.
Nice. So we're 25 years in.
Yeah, like quarter cent.
Nice. Wow. So is there a certain style of martial arts that you guys teach, or all of it?
So I started out just with Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, just to learn, kind of be like balanced,
Okay.
grappling, striking.
Mm-hmm.
But I never intended to have a school or anything like that. But so I've been teaching, as far as like teaching actual classes and running the business, since 2011.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still going. So that's good.
Yeah, still going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome. So what do you love about the whole martial arts scene? And I know I'm wanting to get my boy into it. I know I put my older one for a bit too. He loves it. What is it? What is it about the world, about the scene?
I think it's gaining confidence,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, with like today's society, with all the stuff going on. People like have a little more fear towards society. They see stuff on the news and people being attacked randomly.
Yes.
And if you don't have any sort of training at all, like, you're kind of going to fall victim to those circumstances.
Yeah.
So, and then not only that, but like bullying in classrooms is really prevalent in pretty much high school, almost every class setting nowadays. And so it kind of gives the parents, a little peace of mind knowing that their child can protect themselves if they're being bullied. And a lot of times bullying just comes from, the kids that, maybe aren't raised right or whatever, it can usually stems from, the home. And they usually try to pick on kids who seem a little more fearful or scared, and so someone who trains don't give off that kind of
that
aura
vibe.
or that vibe. And so they kind of single out the kids and look for weakness, so just training alone could be enough without actually doing anything other than training and not ever having to use it.
It gives you that different walk, like it's a different stride.
Yeah, you tend to act slightly different than what someone else does, and people notice it. And then, I've gotten to the point where I don't even know if I act any different or not. But for me, a lot of times people just say, because I have a little bit of cauliflower ear, so people see that and they just kind of.
It's already, don't mess it. We don't want to mess with that.
I mean, and what's so funny about that, which is a lot of people don't think that. A lot of people think that, like, if you have cauliflower ear, that's how it's going to be. But in reality, you could be training and never get cauliflower ear, because it's a genetically predisposed condition. Some people have really soft cartilage. No, some people have soft cartilage in their ear, and it's very pliable, so it doesn't break very easy. And it basically, cauliflower comes from like your cartilage breaking in your ear. So example, someone has you in a headlock and you rip yourself out and it breaks the cartilage in your ear. Or if you do striking and you get hit in the ear continuously, that could break the cartilage. But not everybody is susceptible to breaking the cartilage in their ear so easily. So you could have someone training their whole life and not have cauliflower ear, so there's no evidence that they're actually
the physical evidence that
there's
you
no physical
see.
evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's cool. I like that. So how do they get a hold of you, and what ages are you teaching at your place?
So we do have a kids program. I think I'm one of the only schools in Visalia that teaches 3 to 5 year olds. So I like to start them really young.
That's good.
Yeah, and I think a lot of schools don't like to train kids that young because it's challenging, number one. Number two, it's very difficult. It's like herding cats, so it's not. So just getting them to stand in line is a challenge, much less do any kind of technique.
For sure.
So you have to be creative and be able to teach these kids and kind of be on their level, making sure they're having fun at the same time, yet learning skills. So you have to, it's a fine-tuning way of training these kids, and we've been very successful with that. So we have kids that we train 3 to 5 year olds on Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 to 5.
Okay.
And sometimes it's a 30-minute class, sometimes it's an hour class. Just depends on
their attention span.
The kids. One kid has a bad day, then they all have a bad day. So it just really depends on the kids. But generally, it's about 45 minutes. Sometimes it'll go an hour. Sometimes it's as short as 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we have our next kids class, which is 6 years old to 12 years old.
Okay.
And then once they're 13, they move into our adult class as far as jiu-jitsu goes.
Yes.
So we don't teach striking to the little ones.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I just think it's a better idea to teach them grappling first. Because
get them strong in that.
Because kids,
they're not going to be fending off like
they're not
people
punching
right now.
kicking other kids. You know what I mean? It's not a good idea to teach that as self-defense.
Right.
But it'd be better for them to learn how to stop a punch or a kicker without punching and kicking. Yes, because kids are actually punching and kicking and biting, like in preschool and stuff like that. Right.
So yeah, you don't want your 3-year-old to be like, but you can have them like stop them from coming at them.
Yeah. So my son, which is funny, you brought that up. It's funny. I don't really talk about it, but my son got kicked out of a daycare when he was like 2 years old because he was biting other kids.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so I started wrestling with him and showing him like jiu-jitsu at like 2. He could barely walk. And I have him doing stuff and it focused his attention on grappling, and he would, his mom would bring him to my competitions, and he'd watch me and stuff. So he shifted all his interest into that, and he's been training. Even he's 14 now, and now he's like, he's maybe training once a month, but he's been training grappling his whole life, and I'm not worried that he's going to be attacked at school. He'll be fine.
Right, and he's probably not worried either.
No.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, I like that confidence that it gives them.
Yeah, so we'd start our striking program generally at like 12 years old and up. So they have to be 12 and already have some jiu-jitsu, grappling.
So I love that because my little one is not. I mean, we were even at the snow this weekend, and he is not the adventurous type, and he is so afraid. I'm like, we're going to put you in, and he's like, no, because they're going to make me fight and they're going to hit me. But when they're little, they're not even striking at each other. They're just learning escape moves, or learning how to get out of positions, how to gain positions, how to control. And then we make sure that they know how to like move correctly, like shoulder roll, back shoulder roll, how to break fall. Love that. Break fall is huge. It's such a simple thing to learn. That could save your child's life. For example, here's a really good one. This is a very good story. I had a kid that was in training with us for about 6-7 months. Got pretty good at all the warm-ups. We do front shoulder rolls, back shoulder rolls, break falls, all that kind of stuff. And he was riding a scooter following his dad on a sidewalk. He didn't have a helmet on. And his dad was going kind of fast. He's trying to catch up. So he's on the sidewalk. He hits like a crack and he goes flying over the scooter and tucks his head down, does a shoulder roll, jumps up to his feet, grabs the scooter and takes back off to catch up to his dad. His dad saw the whole thing. And he was like, he called me the next day. He's like, hey, I just want to thank you for training my son. Like literally the shoulder roll saved him from having to go to the hospital. Right. He might have been seriously injured, but he didn't even have his helmet on, and he was able to recover real quick and get on his bike with no injuries. Yeah, that's important. So, so I mean, that's really good. Yeah, so that can keep your child safe, so they know how to fall correctly or take a fall and not hurt themselves when they're playing a sport or out just messing around, Yes, really important. Yeah, because it does go along with everything else too. With soccer, I imagine with soccer you can fall, and that's going to help you. Yeah, absolutely. And so I had here's another example. We had a baseball coach come in and bring his kid in to train jiu-jitsu, and most team sports are almost like a one-sided movement. So imagine baseball. You're not throwing with both hands. Right. You're not batting. You're not batting left or right sides. So one side of your body becomes stronger and the other one isn't. So your body becomes unbalanced. Yes. Well, in jiu-jitsu, they're required to do both sides. So now their body becomes more balanced. So they go back to their sport, and now they're more athletic. They're more coordinated. They're doing better in their sports. Yes. That baseball coach came and brought his whole team in to train for a few weeks before season started, and his whole team did better. So there's so many more benefits that people don't really realize when you're training martial arts or, like a jiu-jitsu grappling program. So wow, it's a great base then for anyone. For anything. And that's men and women, girls and boys, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. And we have a lot of women that that train as well. And it seems like, the girls or the women, they tend to do really good, really fast, because they're scared that they're going to have to go against a guy. So they want to make sure the technique's right. Against the guys? Some of them do. Wow. Yeah. Not in the beginning, but like a lot of my upper belts that are females, they welcome a challenge with a man that's bigger than them, that's skilled. Wow.
and they do
Mhm.
well. So
Mhm.
imagine them against a larger man that has no skill.
Yes.
Then they have no issue, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because most of these not bums, but most of these people on the street who are looking for trouble is what I meant by that.
generally, the people that
They're
cause
not out
fights
there
aren't
trained
fighters.
anything.
No,
Yeah,
no, because when
no.
you learn how to fight, you learn skills. We teach you discipline and respect,
Yes.
right? So people out here that are fighting people randomly, they've never trained or they've been taught those values.
Yeah.
They don't have those values.
And they'll be taken down real quick from
Yes,
any
and then they'll be
female.
humbled quickly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then they'll stop.
Exactly.
Because they'll be like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So
teach them a lesson.
sometimes it has to be done that way, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
And hey, you know what? That's good that you guys are putting these ninjas out there.
Yeah.
These
right.
crime solving ninjas.
Yeah, that's right. It makes society safer. It makes a better society, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And the
absolutely.
discipline is really good.
Uh-huh.
That I remember that from my son, the discipline of that they would teach.
Yeah, uniformity, taking instruction correctly,
Mhm.
you know, and for the 3 to 5-year-olds, that's great because
Mhm.
I'm teaching them how to stand in line, teaching them how to take instruction. They go to TK and their teacher's
Yep.
like, wow, they already know what single file line is. They know what double arm space is. They know how to sit Indian style. We call it crisscross applesauce.
Mhm.
They understand what it is to take turn. They know how to raise their hand when they have a question. Like I'm gearing them up for school as well.
They know how to be respectful.
Yes.
Already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They know how to inspect the instructor. So they're not dealing with kids that don't understand that. You know?
Absolutely.
So, even if their parents aren't teaching them, we can teach them for them. So,
Yeah. And if you're having trouble, because I know I was a mother that was like, this boy, like, let's put him in, and I even talked to his teacher and was like, listen, he's having a little bit of issues. He doesn't want to listen. And he even took that into like his lessons with him so it's really good. It's a really good, like, a family community.
Yeah. We keep it very tight, family knitted, and I'll have a little bit of military style in there slightly because I ex-military as well. So I try to keep firm, but I stay very fair, and I explain to the kids and make sure they understand the concept of fairness. Like, why do they get to stand in front of me? I'm like, well, you stood in front last time, so we're taking turns, and that's how it's going to be. You know,
and it's just what it is.
Yeah, and believe it or not, some kids hear that and they start crying.
Oh.
They're not used to having to share or, you know, let someone go first, or, you know. So I have to deal with those little small little.
Little fits here
those
and
little
there.
fits, those things. So, you know,
but then they grow out of that,
right?
And then they're like, they get tough, and then parents are
they
thankful.
become better students, and they become less. I don't know what
crybaby.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that nicely.
Then they're not such a crybaby anymore.
Yeah,
suck it up. They learn how to suck it up.
They learn responsibility and how to be nice to people. So
I love that. It's a whole lifestyle. It's a whole thing. Cool. I feel like every child should start off in something like this. Like, no, I feel like it's a good idea. Like, no matter what.
Yeah, I think they should. You know, I think they should put it in schools. They should put
as a PE.
I know there were some high schools who were doing a jiu-jitsu program. Nice. I was trying to start one. So I'm a school board member on with Outside Creek School, which is their own district.
Okay.
And I got on the school board during COVID because they were going to run the school open as a day camp, and I wanted to keep my son in school, so they never shut down.
You did what you had to do. Look at you stepping in.
Yeah. So I'm trying to start a jiu-jitsu school, a program over there as well. But, you know, in Japan, they make it a requirement for kids to take judo in school, you know, and that's how they become so disciplined, because you have to have discipline to do that. You know what I mean? So they're teaching that. I mean, there's got to be something to it if they're doing it. You know what I mean? So,
it's absolutely not a bad idea.
You can see the improvements and the results from your kid being in a martial arts class anyway. So,
Yes.
It's a win-win.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
keep working on that. I'd like to talk to even more people in more districts and put that idea. You should put that idea in them too. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, how do they get a hold of you when they want to put your kids, or not even just the kids, if you want to, as an adult, get into your program as well? Yeah.
So you can get a hold of me on my website. My phone number is on there. My email's on there. It's www.vitruvianmartialarts.com.
Okay.
I think you guys will be able to show that on the screen.
Absolutely.
So, my phone number is on there. Our address is on there. I'm available for private. Some people, they like to come in. They're a little worried about starting in classes. They're afraid to take that big jump into a class setting, and I understand. And so I do offer privates. so people can come in and like come
One-on-one.
in when there's no one there,
Mhm.
and we just do like a one-on-one
Mhm.
30-minute session, kind of teach them some real easy
Mhm.
basics, and then kind of do a few of those, and then once they kind of get that stuff down, bring them into class, and they already have
Yeah.
a good idea of what they're doing, and not having
A little
to
more comfortable.
feel so uncomfortable trying to match everyone's speed.
Catch
You know
up.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
True.
but you know, most people, they come in, they just jump in it, you know,
Yeah.
and that's usually kind of how a lot of people do it as well. So it
Yeah.
really depends on the person, you know, but
That's
we just
cool.
try to, you know, just want to make sure everybody has, doesn't have an excuse not to start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
No excuses, guys. No excuses. Yeah.
Yep.
They've got every level for you. If you're a little bit timid, they gotcha. Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. And you guys are 7 days a week, 5 days a week?
So we have classes 6 days a week,
Perfect.
and we have an open mat on Sundays, which is gained a lot of momentum. It's very popular, and basically we have people from all the different schools in Visalia, which Visalia has a lot of jiu-jitsu schools now.
Mhm. Okay.
But they come from either in town, out of town, and basically all academies welcome.
Anyone
no
can come
fee,
by on Sundays?
no
and
fee, and just come in there and learn from each other, and just free
Wow.
train, and plenty of mat space. And I have like probably over 2,500 square feet of mat space.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So if
so-
someone just wants to, that might be a good day, like a drop-in day to come and just check out and
just
see what
watch.
they do.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Guys, go check them out. Every Sunday is open mat night. And if
Yeah.
you are a part of the community, go check them out on Sundays and go
it's-
roll around.
Yeah, it's at 11 a.m. to 1, and there's everyone from white to black belt on the mat, and
Nice.
yeah, so learn from everybody. So we try to get the community to learn from each other,
Mhm.
you know, without being at a competition. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's a friendly environment,
Yeah.
you know, with all the different academies to get to know each other. You know, otherwise they wouldn't be training together. So it's a good opportunity to get different looks at different techniques, because not all the instructors are the same.
Everyone's
They teach
different.
slightly
Mhm.
different. Some people focus on other things, and others focus on other things. So
Mhm.
it's, you know, kind of gets a nice blend. You know,
Absolutely.
whereas they may never get that blend before. So
It's all about networking.
yeah,
It's all about networking and being around like-minded individuals, and
Absolutely.
that's what you guys like to do. So do it all together. It's fun.
Yeah,
It makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Marc, for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I
you're
love the view.
welcome.
It's awesome.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Visalia, we'll see you soon.